Last week, we had a customer that came in with two 5090s. One of them was the 5090 Founders Edition. And the customer replaced fans with a water block. And after doing so, the GPU stopped working. He came into our shop and he said, all I did was I replaced fans with a water block, and now the GPU no longer works. It turns on, but it does not display anything on the screen. Now, I have not worked on a 5090 Founders Edition before that customer. I told him I'll do my best, I'll see what's going on, and hopefully I can help you. We disassembled the card, and the card is modular. You have three separate boards: a board for the display ports, a board for the PCIe connector, and you have the main board. The card is modular. It's not all one piece, but it's three separate boards. Now, if NVIDIA made the card modular so that, let's say, the PCIe board broke, we can replace it, then that's amazing, because we had issues with 4090s where the PCIe connector would crack or break. And when that happens, it's game over for the card, or not practical for the most part to work on that card. Even if you work on it, the issue can arise again because that's a weak spot on the board. So if NVIDIA is doing this, made the card modular so that if any one of the parts broke on that card, we can replace it, then that's amazing, 100% amazing. But that was not the case. I tried to source that connector on the main board where the PCIe board meets the main board, connects with the main board, male and female, and I was not able to find that connector. I was not able to source that connector. I posted the video and a lot of viewers mentioned what that connector could be. There are a lot of variations of that connector. I was not able to locate exactly the same one. The customer watched the video and he contacted NVIDIA. He told them, I have a Founders Edition 5090. The connector got damaged. I replaced fans with a water block. It's my fault. But we need to be able to source that connector so the shop I took it to can solder the new connector and help me fix the card. NVIDIA told him, we do not sell those connectors. We cannot give you a connector. They're talking back and forth, and he mentioned our video. He mentioned Northridge Fix. They watched the video and they escalated the ticket. Customer service called the customer back after 2 days and they told him, we're going to replace the card for you after watching the video. Great news. I told the customer, that's amazing. So our video must have done something to trigger NVIDIA to replace the card for you. I hope this will become a norm and NVIDIA would take care of issues like this. NVIDIA did not provide the connector, but they decided to replace the whole card. Amazing. So they told the customer, send us the broken card and we're going to send you a new card. I told the customer to keep me posted. I gave him my cell phone number. I told him if they replace it for you, I want to know so I can share it with all of you. And if they did not send you a new card, even though they promised to, I also want you to send me a message and tell me NVIDIA lied to me. They promised me a card, but they did not replace the card. So I can let the viewers know. I did not hear back from the customer yet. We're going to give it some time before I post another video. Now, I complained about how that card is modular and how we're not able to source different parts of that card. What's the purpose of NVIDIA making the card modular if we cannot source those parts, those bits and pieces? PCIe connector breaks, we cannot source another one. Display connector breaks, we cannot source another one. So what's the purpose of making the card modular? That's the introduction for this video. On my bench here, I have an RTX Pro 6000, a $10,000 video card that came in from a very famous tech YouTuber, 40 million followers. A broken PCIe connector. The customer transferred his desktop with the video card installed inside the desktop, and all the weight is being put on that PCIe board, and the board broke. Exactly what I mentioned in the 5090 video. All the stress, all the weight is being put on this flimsy, I would not say flimsy, it's a thick board, but if you compare this board to the weight of this card, the board is going to break, no doubt. Okay? The board broke. I told the customer said, can you solder that piece? I told them, of course not. You cannot solder that piece back on the board. You have a 12 to 15 layer board, And it's like if you broke glass, you cannot put glass back together. The same thing goes here. You cannot solder that piece back on the board. And that's a very important piece. You have 12 volts here. You have 3.3 volts here. And I told the customer, we're not going to be able to fix the card for you because we cannot source the board. I mentioned this in a video I did on the 5090 where we are not able to source parts. Our customer did call NVIDIA asking for the part, and NVIDIA decided to replace the card for the customer. They did not provide the customer with the part, but they decided to replace the card for the customer. Maybe we can do the same for this card, shine the light on this issue, and maybe things will change with NVIDIA. Maybe NVIDIA will start providing those parts for a person like me who fixes GPU. We can source the board, we can replace it, or even the customer. If they are tech savvy, they can open up the video card, replace that board, and done. Now we have a $10,000 paperweight. RTX Pro 6000. Why? Because we cannot source that board. So again, what's the purpose of making the card modular if we cannot replace the bits and pieces? If I'm able to buy this board, I'll replace it, done. $10,000 card saved. If let's say the customer damaged the connectors, buy the board, replace it, done. The connector breaks, the fragile connector, and I did not even check the connector on this one if we have issues with the connector or not, but that's the connector that got damaged on the 5090 for the other customer. And the PCIe connector, it connects like this. It clicks in. Let me take a look at the connector quick. I do not see any damage on it. The connector looks good. On the 5090, this connector was damaged. And that's the PCIe board. The connector looks good also. And that's how the connector connects on the board. So all the weight of this card is going through that connector onto that board. You see how the board is broken? A lot of layers. A lot of layers on this board. We want this video to reach NVIDIA. I want everybody to share this video. And maybe NVIDIA will change. They will start selling those boards, or maybe they can provide us with a replacement. If NVIDIA did provide me with a replacement, that does not solve the problem, right? It solves the problem for this particular customer, but we want this to be available for everyone. A person paying $10,000 for a card, $2,500 for a card, $3,000 for a card, they should be able to replace that board. Now, if NVIDIA does not want to provide the part, they do not want to sell the parts, then you as a customer can now make an informed decision whether you want to buy this card or buy the 5090 Founders Edition or not buy those cards. You have this information. The card is not fixable if it breaks. If you go and buy that card and another person buys that card and another person buys that card knowing that those cards are not fixable, then it's on you. It's not on NVIDIA. And I mentioned this in the Right to Repair video I did a week or 2 weeks ago. The title was Right to Repair is Dead. I mentioned how companies do not have to provide you with the parts. It's you, the consumer. If you are buying that device, knowing that that device is not fixable, it's on you, the customer, and not the maker. If I made this device and I do not want to provide you with the parts, that's a decision I took as a company. But if people keep buying, knowing that that device is not fixable, it's on the customer and the consumer, and it's not on the maker of the card. I hope NVIDIA will provide the parts, being that the customer is a very high-profile YouTuber. I want everybody to share the video. We want NVIDIA to see this video. If NVIDIA is able to provide a board, we can save the card for the customer, but that would not solve the problem because That's only one customer. We want NVIDIA to start selling those boards, making them available for anybody to buy. If the customer is tech savvy, maybe they can open their own GPU and install their own board and fix the card. Person is not tech savvy, they send it over here, we do it for them. I would hate to see a $10,000 card get wasted. I would hate to see any one of those modular cards get wasted. Share the video. We want NVIDIA to see the video. Maybe a change will happen. We're gonna end the video right here. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next one.